Yo, yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Fro in the building. And today, I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite movies of all time, the 1976 flick, Rocky, starring and written by Sylvester Stallone. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. In the first film, I would describe Rocky as a not so lucky southpaw boxer, not in the best living situation. We see that Rocky's from the streets. He's a collector for a loan shark, and he gets into crime here and there. Rocky's also a smooth talking hustler, but at the same time, he does think of himself as half a bum. Apollo Creed, the heavyweight undisputed champion of the world, is set to have a big fight, but the other fighter ends up getting injured, and Creed is forced to look for another fighter to replace him. He's looking through a book with a long list of names, and he comes across the Italian stallion, Rocky Balboa. Creed says that giving Rocky a shot is a good look for everybody. It's a good look for Rocky's underdog story, but Creed also predicts that he's going to drop Rocky in the third round. The promoter for the fight, George Jurgens, approaches Rocky and says that Apollo is interested in fighting him. Rocky's taken back and he can't believe this. I love his response. He says, no. He's thinking that they just wanted him to be a sparring partner for Apollo, but he's shocked when he finds out that they actually want him to fight Apollo. The movie does revolve around boxing, but I would lean more on the drama side for this film and the entire Rocky franchise. I think the thing that I love the most about this film is that Rocky doesn't care if he loses or wins. He just wants to go the distance with Apollo, and it'll make him feel like he's not another bum from the neighborhood. Here we have probably my personal favorite character of the whole franchise, Mickey, the owner of the gym that Rocky boxes at. Burgess Meredith is the man, and I love his introduction in this film. At first, him and Rocky are not really seeing eye to eye. They're kind of beefing a little bit, if you will, but it also feels like family beef. There's an awesome scene that I love where Mickey visits Rocky at Rocky's home after Rocky's getting a bit of notoriety from the Apollo fight. Mickey wants to be Rocky's manager, but Rocky's also pissed off from the way that Mickey's been treating him the past couple years. In my opinion, a very dynamite Stallone performance. And Burgess Meredith as well. Rocky rages out at Mickey. Mickey leaves the home. After Rocky calms down a bit, he walks out, they console, and he agrees for Mickey to be the manager.
You come around here, you want to move in here with me? Come on in, it's a nice house. Real nice, come on in and move. It stinks. This whole place stinks.
Awesome scene, and I really think Stallone got to show off his dramatic chops here. Fantastic. I also forget how much of a love story there is through the Rocky franchise. I love the relationship between Adrian and Rocky. At first, Adrian's very shy, she's to herself, very quiet, and Rocky is this smooth, goofy, jokey kind of guy. So when they first start talking to each other, it is a bit awkward, but I love how it builds up, and near the middle to the end of the film, I really love these two together. And I love the relationship through all the films. Whenever Rocky's down, Adrian's there to give him a nice talk or to motivate him. I think Talia Shire's perfect as Adrian. I'm a big fan of Paulie as well, but I forgot how much of a monster he is in his first flick. When he's sipping the bottle, he turns into a complete asshole. He's calling Adrian a loser and all these type of terrible names. As much as an asshole that Paulie can be, there's still a lot of likability with him, especially with a lot of his wisecracks. But I love Paulie through the films. Can't see anybody else playing Paulie besides Burt Young. Definitely a tough character to watch at times, especially the Thanksgiving scene. But like I said with Paulie, pretty much every character, I can't think of anybody else to play them. I think everybody does a great job with what they're given. They handle the dialogue very well. The standouts for me are Burgess Meredith, Burt Young, Carl Weathers, he's the man, and a great job from Stallone showing his dramatic chops.
Hey. You know, I said that stuff on TV didn't bother me none.
Yeah?
Did.
I also gotta say, I think Stallone is a very underrated writer when it comes to these Rocky films. Maybe not so much 5, but for the majority, I really love how he handled a lot of the character development through the films. Even some minor characters that you might see in this Rocky film turns out to be a bigger character in this Rocky film. I think nearly all the Rocky films are very well woven together, especially with story and character. And I'm mainly targeting the first 6 Rocky films, kind of excluding 5, because 5 isn't the best example. There's things I like about 5, but not the greatest Rocky film by a landslide. Bill Conti is the man. I love the music in this film. Love the music in 2, love the music in 3, 4. I'm not sure if he did 6, but focusing on this one, Bill Conti delivers a masterful score. Love the piano playing when Rocky's walking alone. Really love the vibe and the overall moody feel to these certain moments. And of course, gonna fly now. Of course, a majority of people do remember Rocky for it's a classic. I can see some people saying that it's a bit overplayed, but I still do get amped up when I hear the Rocky theme. I still think it's the shit. My favorite version of the do is in the opening titles to Rocky 2 with the ambulance driving by. I think that version is really dope, how it's a little pitched down and it sounds a little more grimy. But that's 2. I'm going to do 2 later on. Back to 1. Great direction. Love a lot of the tracking shots. Nice but moody looking cinematography from James Crabb. Mainly the Rocky walking through the street shots. That comes to mind. Before the 4th act, Rocky becomes pretty doubtful of himself after training so hard for this match. This once-in-a-lifetime opportunity match. And that's when he says to Adrian, he's happy if he's able to go the distance. Doesn't care about winning or losing. If the bell rings and he's standing, he's happy. We get toward the end of the film, and the match is pretty brutal and bloody. Rocky's blocking Apollo's punches with his face. And that's a big style for Balboa through the franchise too. Block with your face. They're swinging on each other. It gets more brutal through the match. Their eyes start puffing up. Rocky says, cut my eye. Cut my eye. I can't see. They cut his eye. Blood and pus starts pouring out. I'm like, that was pretty gross, but nice. A nice moment. And I forgot to mention that Apollo's thrown off. He didn't expect Rocky to be so ferocious and fighting this hard in this match. He was expecting to drop Rocky in the 3rd round. But Rocky's going the distance. And they're whooping each other's asses. And we end the film with Rocky still standing. He doesn't win, if I'm correct. It's a split decision, and then it goes to Apollo. But in the second film, Apollo wants a rematch. But I'm going to save that for my Rocky 2 review sometime down the line. But like I said, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. I can see why this movie and this franchise is so beloved. Stallone does an awesome job with his acting work in his first flick. Burgess Meredith kicks ass as Mickey. Awesome performance. As much as the character can be an asshole, I still love Burt Young as Paulie. And I think Talia Shire overall as Adrian through the films is a solid performance. She's given what she's given, but I find her to be a solid support for Rocky through the years. Awesome writing and dialogue. Very humorous and funny at times. I do admire that Stallone wrote this one and the rest of these films. Besides Creed 1 and 2, if I'm not mistaken. I also love the behind the scenes and what was really going on trying to get this movie made. Stallone was going through a lot of shit. He was able to land a script, but they did not want him as Rocky. They pretty much said over his dead body, no way. So Stallone fought and fought to play Rocky, and he was adamant. He said, I'm Rocky or nobody else is Rocky. And I love that he stood his ground because I can't see anybody else playing Rocky. I've heard other people say maybe a James Caan or a Burt Reynolds, and as great as they are, Stallone is a perfect hand-in-glove fit for Rocky Balboa. And I'm going to give Rocky 1976 a 10 out of 10. And that's it, y'all. It's your boy Fro Thizzle. Until next time, if you want to see more, like and subscribe for more nerdy Fro talk. Peace.
They'll probably look for sparring partners for Creed, you know?
I said that before, you dumb dago!
You know, I've been coming in for 6 years. In 6 years, you've been sticking it to me. I want to know how come.
You don't want to know.
Yeah, I want to know how come.
You want to know?
I want to know how!
Okay, I'm going to tell you.
Because you had the talent to become a good fighter. And instead of that, you became a leg breaker. Some cheap, second-rate loan shark.
It's a living?
It's a waste of life.